Long have we waited. Hello, everyone. This is Rare Model Reviews here, and today we have the Master Grade 1 to 100 Gundam Double X. Now, for those of you who have been here a while, somehow, or just paid attention to my older videos, you know that I did an unboxing for this guy probably around 7 years ago, and not only has he been sitting in a box since then, but I also, of course, never got around to reviewing him. And last week, I finally got around to doing so. And I've got to say, I'm an idiot. I definitely should have went ahead and built this guy so long ago, but I am glad I finally did nonetheless. So, getting right down to it, first and foremost, I just want to mention that this guy comes with a little tiny figure of a Tifa Deal, unpainted, of course, in white. So just wanted to show that off. And I'm gonna go do like a little bit of a rundown on the colors. Now the color separation on this thing is actually pretty good. Everything is molded where it should be. The whites, this I guess this is kind of a black. It's almost kind of like a navy blue or something. It's like really dark. But the yellows, the reds, you can see it peeking through there, but there's like this little goldish type effect for the satellite cannons there. Like everything's separated pretty nicely, grays, all that. Now, one weird thing this thing did is it used a lot of clear green plastic, like you see here for the receiver for the satellite cannon, but also it has like clear green for like the camera on the top, as well as the back camera and the eyes. But they actually give you stickers for all that, so I went ahead and put the stickers on because I can't help but to do those. But if you want it, what you could do is like for the eyes, just color around the edges of it to make it black. I don't know if you could quite make that out, but it's like, you know, the typical Gundam stickers where it's the green, where it's like the green for the around the eyes, and then like the black outline around it. But like I said, you could color over the black outline, keep everything clear green. It's like I said, for like the head and stuff, it already has a clear green, so you can just use that. You don't really need the sticker. For the little slats in the face there, they're actually like a see-through. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite come out as black like most of those usually do for Gundams, but it works well enough. I actually tried coloring in the piece underneath that black, but it doesn't really show out quite as much as I wanted to. Now, if you guys wonder, this thing actually can stand up. The way I had it propped up just now, it was getting held up by the giant cannons, but for the most part, it does it. This thing's not back heavy. It kind of does depending on the certain poses. If you get kind of, you know, crazy with it and have this thing, you know, slump like this and whatnot, you know, that's when it might happen. But I mean, as you can see, it actually is still holding up. So we've already played around enough and went through the colors. If you can probably notice, this is like the Gundam X TV show showed up in around the 80s. So this is the era where they're trying to sell Gundam markers, basically, the, you know, fine point markers. So this thing has a bunch of freaking lines and slats and whatnot all around it. So you're going to have to line the crap out of this thing. I got a few areas here and there. I'm sure you can notice around it, but I didn't get to every area. If you notice here, I've colored in some of the parts here for the Vulcans black, just to make them pop a little bit. But I made that intro a lot longer than it should have, so we're going to go straight in articulation. So as you can see here, it's on like a ball joint. Go all over the place. The shoulder here can go 360. However, the backpack kind of gets in the way. It can move forward on both arms, of course, decent a bit. So you could probably do some nice poses with that. Double jointed, not triple, on the arm. So perfect, what you'd expect there. As you can see, the shoulder can move up to around there. I didn't quite put this piece in for the shoulder flush. I got a little nervous that I'd break something, so yeah. Let me see. We can go over to the waist here. The beam saber is like on this hinge here, so you can move it up about right there. So that's really cool. You can get a lot of nice poses and whatnot off of that. And of course, the side armor pretty much has a free range of movement. It's just it starts to hit around the body. Speaking of body, it can rock side to side, back and forth. So for some decent ab crunches. can't really spin at the waist here from the where the white parts connects to, like, this crotch piece here, but again, not bad articulation. Front armor can move all the way up, and you can see that nice little gray detail there. You notice I painted those screws there black. The front armor move up a little bit. So again, this is like a 7-year-old kit, maybe older, and this articulation is not bad. The satellite cannons can spin pretty much 360, or that's more so for the transformation. This one can, again, spin around 360. Let me see. The thrusters on the back here, you can make those out. These are on the ball joints, so those kind of wiggle and spin around. The leg, again, it's not hindered by the front armor at all, so it can move about here. I mean, it can, maybe it is hindered a little bit, but again, it's still not bad. This thing can do the splits. It's a little hard to do that with giant satellite cannons, but it can do it. Can, again, move back and forth, because again, the leg armor can move, so decent movement out of that. Now, this thing actually has some weird articulation on the legs, because it has like these little slats here in the knee that move. Still like perfect articulation, but it's really strange they did that, so it felt a little unnecessary to me, but still cool, of course. This thing has a bit of a toe movement, but not much, but enough for you to be able to get some nice lunges off. Can also move down a little bit, which helps with aerial poses, I find. And then you can see the nice little pistons in there too. I've actually painted that silver to make that pop a little bit, if you can make that out. And the ankle can move quite a bit. So kind of little ankle guard there. So again, it's like a 7-year-old kit. Now articulation is like perfect. That's just about it for articulation. There's a few areas I've missed out on, but that's for the transformation. So we're gonna go straight into accessories. If you notice I have the shield, I actually meant to take that off, but the shield basically pegs onto this little hole here in the back of the arm. And actually the shield is really cool, because it's like it's on this interesting little kind of like hinge type joint thing here. And this thing has like a lot of movement you can do on this thing because of it. But what we're going to do is I'm going to take that off, and I just want to show off. This thing is they use the bracket hand, so I have one for the open and one for the closed fist there. So I'm just going to take that out, and of course there are 2 of each for the closed fists. Same for the open hands there, 1 for each hand. Whoa. Ignore that just happened. Sheesh. Alright, so again, 2 for each hand. And now we're going to put in the beam rifle. Well, actually, real quick, I just want to mention, for the shield here, there's this little piece on the back. You could actually move the handle down there, and then you put the beam rifle onto that little slot there. So, of course, if I put the shield back on, you would be able to peg this into the arm and have the shield, on the rifle on the back of the shield there. Of course, I'd be able to pose that a little bit different so it doesn't look so awkward, but that's an option. And there's actually a piece on the back. You would actually be able to mount this piece onto. Oops. But yeah, you would mount this piece onto it. It's a little awkward getting it in there, but if you can make that out, yeah. So you'd be able to actually put the beam rifle on like so. So you can actually have that mounted to the back. You can't really connect the shield to it though, unfortunately, because it doesn't quite fit. But anyway, so all right, trying to think of how to tackle this. Okay, so we're gonna do the beam rifle here first. You just put that into this little, like if you see there's like a little groove there, you just slide that in like so, and then you kind of gotta it's a little awkward getting this in here, but There we go. So it has no problems holding a beam rifle whatsoever. Okay. Well, it usually does. I don't think I put it in very tight, but oh geez, there we go. I think that's it better. So like I said, no problem holding a beam rifle. I just didn't put in good. The shield, this handle here can move, and hopefully I can get this going without any issues. Trying to think, how do I put this on? I want to say you put it on like this. Oops. It's a little tough because this thing doesn't really want to stay in, but let's see if I can get this in as well. Yeah, actually the arm came out. I'm kind of glad I did. That makes things a little easier. There we go. Perfect. So you can actually, and this is one of the coolest aspects of this kit, by the way, you can actually get this guy to hold his shield forward. And this is a complaint I have about pretty much every Gundam out there, master grade or not. You can't get the Gundam to hold his shield forward, and you can do it on this. So that is like a big plus to me. So I'm of course going to get that off. So it'll be a little easier for what comes next if I do so. But of course, this thing has both beam sabers can come off, and then there are the 2 clear green beam sabers. You can put on both, of course, and it'd be the same. You'd use the same bracket hands for the beam sabers that you'd use for the weapons and whatnot. So naturally, you can hold both beam sabers, but what you want to do for this, putting these beams in are kind of a bit of a pain, but I think it might be easier if I put the hand back in. Let me see. You'd kind of want to, not mistaken, put it in like so, and then you just kind of want to wedge that in here. Maybe it's like this. There we go. Yeah. So there we go. You can have him hold the beam saber, and it's like no problem doing so. And now, for, I guess you'd say, the meat and potatoes of the Double X, and that'd be the satellite cannon. So what you do for that is you just open up these pieces on the leg here. Same for the arms. And they just slide right out. It's a nice process of actually getting that going when you build it. Building one out was pretty fun. So you also, and I was getting nervous about doing this because these satellite cannons is, I don't like moving these. I feel like I'm going to break these things, but I just try to do it a little slow, and it's been okay so far. Just kind of pop that a little too much. So then you move that forward, and then you just kind of, that's one gripe I have about this thing. That V fin comes off way too easy. There we go. So you just kind of extend that, get that in there. I also want to mention these cannons move about quite a bit. Nice articulation on it. So there you go. Just get that in there. Put the V fin back on. And then you move these out. Actually, I think I moved these. I'm pretty sure these are supposed to. I think when I did the articulation, I spun it a little too much, but there we go. So you spread those out. Yeah, I did it the same way for this one. I spun it too much. There we go. So again, if you can make that out, you just spread those down, snap those into place, and then bam. Oops. Keep knocking that thing off, but yes. So voila, there you have it. You got the Oh my goodness, what's going on here? You have the Double X with his satellite cannons open. And if you couldn't tell already, I just love this guy. Definitely worth the wait on me building him. Also have the piece here for the base. I'm going to get into that in a sec. I just want to do a quick size comparison. So, of course, first up, we have another smaller master grade, which is the F91. I can get him to stand. His head's kind of looking down, but whatever. So, as you can see, I think the Double X is a little bit bigger than him. I can't quite tell. But these are both, again, compact mobile suits that are tiny. And then just to make them really look bad, I'm going to throw one of the biggest 1-on-100 kits out there. Just mobile suits in general. And that's the I'm too big to stand up Yakut Doga. So as you can see, it just towers over them. Just looks crazy. And I'm not sure if I showed you guys already. I have like goldfish memory. But oh no, I didn't. Yeah, this thing has a little action base adapter, of course. I'm just gonna put that in. And like most action bases, there's a little clip there you'd put underneath the crotch. So I'm just gonna put this guy on that there. This is actually the first time I ever put him on an action base too. So as you can see, it's got no issues getting up there. Now that's it. That's it for the review. If you couldn't guess, I highly recommend this kit. I want to go back in time, shake myself and tell me to build it right away, because I should not have waited 7 years to build this guy. It's amazing. It's detailed. It's just about everything you should want from the Double X. So if you haven't already, whether you're a fan of this or not, if you think this thing looks cool, pick it up. You won't regret it at all. So again, this is Rare Modern Reviews. I thank you guys so much for watching and being patient, because I should have gotten this thing out again years ago. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.